sonst schreckt es die Leute.
Ich warte jetzt noch, wenn wir live sind. Dann macht es dann immer diesen Balken hier. Ich glaube, wir sind live und es kann. Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook. Here we go. Welcome everybody who's live here. Welcome everybody who's watching the replay. We know there's a lot of people tuning in later on, but let's see if somebody's already live. This is another episode of Magnetic Talks. Today I have a very special guest. I have to say every guest is special, of course, to me, but it's also a very dear friend of mine. And Magnetic Talks are here for you guys to inspire you, to showcase amazing entrepreneurs, women who are building their business from their hearts, to inspire you, to give you maybe some insight into mindset, into marketing tactics, and to give you a broad kaleidoscope, a spectrum of who we all are, how we can all succeed with our own unique ways and passions. And it's also here to connect you guys with each other. So I hope, like always, every time you get ready out of this and we dive right into it. Today, my guest is Iris Kaufmann. She's a marketing strategist, expert in the tourism industry. She's a copywriter. She's a visionary entrepreneur. She's building a lot of amazing things. We're going to talk about it. And she's especially, she's super special when it comes to combining passions with knowledge and skills. And this is what we're going to talk about today. Welcome, Iris.
Hello, Maria. Pleasure
to see you. Look at you. You got braces.
This is actually my first live call with my new jewelry in my face. Because as you know, I mean, turning 45, you can buy really any kind of jewelry. And I thought I'm going to give myself a special gift this year.
My God, it makes it, you look like 25.
I've done it.
So, first of all, Iris, thank you so much for joining us today. I have two important questions at the beginning. The first one is, please tell us about this amazing picture in your background, maybe now or later on, because everybody's going to ask about it. Yeah. And the most important thing is, can you show us where you're streaming from, where you're sitting right now?
I will. So let's start with the, I think, more beautiful part of it. So I'm just turning my laptop and I'm going to show you where I am. So look at that.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I'm streaming actually from right in the middle of the mountains. That's where my home base is. It's Kaprun in the country of Salzburg. So I'm living back in my hometown since almost 3 years, where I was born, and in between I have visited and lived in some other places, but I think we're going to talk about this a little bit.
We're going to talk about this, and yeah. I think everybody envies you and wants to have an office like you, especially.
Well, yeah, it's beautiful, but it's also a bit distracting because on a day like this, I actually prefer to be out there. So it's all about you, Maria, because you have invited me, and thanks for the invitation. It's a real honor to be with you and to chat with you about, a few marketing and networking things. Yeah, can't wait.
Great.
About the picture. This is actually an artist from St. Anton, from the Arlberg region. He's been to one of the mountain yoga festivals, I think 3 years ago already. And he was live painting during the festival. And at the end of the festival, I asked him if I can have a little piece of artwork, and he gave me this. So
right, it's just a piece of it because the whole thing was huge.
It was I think 3 times this size, yeah. And I just thought he might give me a really small one which I can frame, but I couldn't find a frame for this one.
You don't need a frame for this one.
It's a good reminder. it's a good reminder of the festival. So,
It's beautiful and it's super colorful, like your life. So
like life.
let's dive into this, Iris. I ask every one of my guests, please give us a quick look into your background, your personal story, where you come from, and not where you ended up, because life is a journey. You keep going, but especially about your transition, your journey into entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Well, yes, I'm a mountain girl, born and raised right here in the middle of the mountains, where tourism has been always a big part. So this region here is definitely one of the biggest tourist areas in Austria, quite famous for skiing, and also in summer for hiking, for mountain biking. And yeah, so tourism was always kind of a part of my life and my family's life. So it was quite clear that I will end up there. So I did the school, tourism school, and all of that. And after school, I just thought traveling is good fun. So I started and lived in Italy for a while, for a year, learned the language, learned the Italian love, of course, and also worked there. After that, I stayed in Innsbruck for a while, worked for a tour operator. I've done my first website for this tour operator in 2000. So I've learned it actually from the scratch 21 years ago when we built it, the first website. And yeah, it was kind of interesting. And this is when I really came into the whole marketing thing, and because before I really didn't know anything about it. So I learned it from the scratch in various jobs. My journey continued to Australia, where I lived and worked for 5 years. I worked for the tourist office in Australia. There's a small office, but we were in charge of the country region of Australia and New Zealand. And we market the Austrian country and Austria's beauty in Australia.
Isn't it the best product to market?
Sorry?
Isn't it the best product ever to market?
Absolutely. And I must say, I had actually really best of both worlds, because I lived in the city of my dreams. Sydney is very inspiring, with so many different nationalities working there. I learned so much from other cultures in this particular city. And at the same time, I worked for my home country. So it was an honor to do this job. So I traveled back and forth quite a lot. And I was still able to ski in Austria and in New Zealand. And yeah, it was great fun. It was a great experience where I learned even more about social media. This was about the time when Facebook started, so years ago. And yeah, I learned from the scratch. And with all of this experience, I came back to Austria in 2011, and I thought, now actually, this is when I met you. The most important part. We worked together in
Jewelry. It's again jewelry.
it's again jewelry. A different one. They didn't do as nice things as this
Right.
one. Yeah, this is when we met, and actually where in my mind I was already gearing up for something new, and I thought, okay, let's just do it. Let's just open up your own business with the whole network, with the whole people, with everything you have learned in tourism marketing, destination marketing, social media marketing, and on top of that, in communication. Yeah, so it was 2011 when I started with my company, Outside Marketing. Ever since, I support companies, one women and one man shows at the same time as hotels or tourist organizations for marketing, and with a very strong focus on communication.
Mhm.
Communication in any kind of way.
That's what you do best. So yeah, so you basically, in a nutshell, you're combining your extensive experiences in tourism and marketing with your passion for nature, for mountains, for yoga also, and a very important factor for you is also sustainability, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about your, let's say, signature concepts and projects you developed for clients you keep growing and you keep working on. I think there are several you want to talk about, right?
Well, let's start with my heart project, where you have been already as well. So this all started in 2015 when I had a chat with the marketing manager of the tourist office in St. Anton, and they said, okay, let's, they want to do something in summer with focus on yoga. Yoga has a big part in my life because I practice yoga almost every day, sometimes only for 5 minutes, but doesn't really matter. It's not about the duration, it's about the consistency. And yeah, as yoga has become a big part in my life.
Yourself, right?
Yeah. I'm not teaching now because I've realized I'm not a good teacher. I practice, but there are so many other good teachers out there. So I don't want to be in the first row. So I prefer to be in the back row and to organize things. Yeah, coming back to that beautiful event, which is my heart project. It's the Mountain Yoga Festival in St. Anton, which we started in 2016. It's a collaboration with the tourist office in St. Anton, and ever since it has been growing. It's a project where so many people work together. There's a great team behind me in the organization, where we have really great people who are focusing on their particular jobs during the festival and before in preparation. And what I love so much about this work is, first of all, it's the combination of practicing yoga, of course, combining with the beautiful nature which is around St. Anton. So we're mixing experiences in nature with yoga, and if you mix that all together, it's actually a beautiful holiday or retreats, if you want to say that, for people who are getting there. And now coming back to the tourism field, over the last few years, people in tourism have realized that you, myself, and others, they are going on 3, 4, 5 holidays in a year. So this picture has changed because 10, 15 years ago, we went probably twice, or one summer holiday, one winter holiday. But now people are also focusing on a holiday where they can recharge their batteries. And this has become more and more important. I mean, I see myself. I mean, I take a time out for myself without my husband and family, just for myself, for a few days every year to recharge. And combining this recharging with nature and a new kind of movement like yoga or even meditation practice, or this famous German word, Waldluftbaden, yeah, with all these kind of things is becoming more and more popular. And I'm grateful that there has been a bit of a change in tourism, in the habits of holiday makers. And now, which has been new as well, is that sustainability becomes more and more important, which is the way how you're going to travel to your final holiday destination, where the power comes from in the hotel. And these kind of aspects are now becoming more and more important as well. So yeah, now I started with my heart project and I ended up with the sustainability.
Back to the Mountain Yoga Festival. So it's been on for 5 years now?
It's been on for 5 years now. Last year we had a special online edition because of the C factor.
Yeah.
If the C factor is cool this year, which we are all hoping,
I hope.
yeah. The next festival will be on in September. So if anyone is interested,
I'm gonna drop it in the comments later. So the link to the Mountain Yoga Festival in St. Anton. I've been there several times. It's an amazing place. It's a magic place being there, and I experienced it in bright sunshine, and I experienced it in rain and snow and freezing temperatures, and it all has its charm. It's just an amazing community getting together from different countries. Top-notch yoga teachers you don't get to practice with on a regular basis normally in your day-to-day life. So it's fantastic to try out new yoga styles, new teachers, and make a lot of new friends there.
Yeah. Now it's a big family already. We have really people turning up every year. We have our core team with locals from St. Anton who are helping out as well, with teachers coming from all over the world. So it's been the family is growing, and especially last year, which was kind of interesting as we couldn't do the proper live festival in St. Anton. We did the online sessions on 2 days with teachers being in St. Anton and doing live sessions from the mountain with sunshine. We connected with the family because we were streaming into the living rooms of the yogis from all over the place. We had a Swedish girl joining in even at 5 a.m. in the morning for the morning meditation. So this is the kind of connection we really enjoy and we love, and this is also what motivates us to keep on going. And this is the motivation we need, and especially for my kind of work, I'd love to connect people. And the festival is a place for connection. And so if anyone wants to join us, you drop it in the comments.
We do that. So, but there's so much more you're doing. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about some more of your newest projects, events, or you want to move on to your communication, copywriting? Or let's talk about first the other projects you're doing.
The other projects, okay. There's something very, very new. I have actually uploaded the website only this morning, so it's now all about to getting live and real. Here in my hometown in Kaprun, I'm actually opening up with my husband a new fitness yoga room. It's called My Space, so it's very spacey.
I think it's more than a room, huh?
It's a big room. But what we have realized over the last months as well, also in the sea time, movement is very important, but not only the movement with your body, also the movement with your brain. So we are offering this place for teachers, for trainers, for experts. They can rent out the place and we want to build actually a good offer of different classes for mental work, for body work, and also, I mean, of course, if the weather is okay, we can just go outside and practice outside in the meadow or on the grass in summer. And we are opening up as soon as we can, hopefully mid-May. So now all the prep work is going on, and so if anyone is in Kaprun at any time from May onwards and wants to join a training class or a yoga class or mental training class, have a look at the website, which you're gonna write down later.
Yeah, okay, we drop it there. So, wow, cool. That's cool. So it's basically, it's a room that teachers can rent and do their classes, but you can also offer it like to people coming from somewhere else, right? They stay in a hotel or a place nearby. It's very central located. and they can use the facilities and everything, right?
Exactly. They can join all the classes. The classes are drop-in classes. So if anyone is on holiday here, just go on our website and check out the classes and join in. And yeah, so it's an additional offer for hikers, for mountain bikers, for anyone who, yeah, just wants to relax. So anyone is welcome.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm very excited.
Cool. Another love area you have, it's of course communications, but it's also like the content creation and the copywriting, right? Because this is a pain point for, I think, all of us, whether we are solopreneurs or working in marketing departments, or any company struggles with this like everybody needs to be a content machine nowadays and producing content. This is something you love to do, right? When it comes to texting, copywriting. Why is that, and what's your approach?
Yeah. Well, I must say I never was a really big reader. It started when I was in Australia, because I actually thought when I went there, oh, my English is so good, and I can talk with everyone. And then very quickly I have realized, maybe I need a little bit more practice. So I started reading again, reading books, watching television and all of that. And I've realized sometimes translating German words into English or the other way around, it has a different meaning. And this is when it all started. So I was trying to play around with words. Coming back to Austria, I really liked the idea, and I found it actually quite easy to write. And for me, it's a creative work in my brain. So for example, I have a client, one woman person who is actually running her own business, and it's always quite hard to write about yourself. So I talk to her, and she gives me the ideas, what she's doing, what she's focusing on, what her USB is. And I'm painting a picture already in my mind with words, and then I write it down. And to me, it's a very creative work. I like it, I love it. And in these times where we have so many different communication tools, sometimes it's a little bit too much already for myself, I must say, honestly. But you have to be, if you want to be good and if you want to be present, you have to be present in various communication areas. And communication is not only the talking or the writing, it's also the viewing. So an image or a picture of yourself or of myself became more and more important. So a picture is a communication tool as well. And I've learned over the last years, I've also done some trainings, really to focus on the essential. And the essential is always like it's you. Yeah, it's what you do as a person. It's when we talk about a hotel, it's about the charm of the hotel, it's the people who work in the hotel. So you have to differentiate who you're talking about, and it's a big thing. And to me, I find it's a creative work, and I like doing it. And yeah, it keeps me going. Let's put it this way, and I don't stop reading.
Well, so you don't not only do copywriting, you're also taking care of the visual part. You also do video productions, I know.
Yeah.
So the whole universe.
The whole thing, because I think it's quite important if you want to sell a product, or if you want to sell yourself because you're one person show, you need to find out first what is your USB and what makes you unique. I don't like looking at other, let's say, Instagram profiles and say, oh, she's looking good and she's doing it really good. It's good to see what the other competitors are doing, but to me, I think the essence is be authentic. and be honest and tell the people the truth. Even if you have a grumpy day,
Well,
say
yeah.
it.
Even
Everyone can,
two of us, sometimes we have a grumpy day.
exactly. Then we switch off the phone and we go out in nature.
Right, that helps.
In communication, it's quite important to focus on who you are, or what your product is about.
Hmm.
And the way I work with my clients is, we do workshops, like kickoff workshops at the beginning, where we get to know each other. We analyze the product, we analyze the person, and then we find the keywords. The keywords are the USBs of these persons. And then I try to create my pictures in my mind around these products or keywords. And that's how I create the communication. And it has to be, or it should be, what's the rote Faden in English?
Isn't it like the red thread?
The red thread. Let's
Whatever. Yeah,
say
yeah.
it's the red thread. There has to be the red thread, the rote Faden in communication, because we are present on Instagram, on Facebook. We might send a newsletter, but it always has to be the same style of the way we communicate in pictures and in words. And yeah, I like it. It's good fun.
It is. So with everything you told us and you keep telling us, one might think you run a big agency with lots of people, a big team, but actually you are a solopreneur, and but you have mastered the art of collaboration, of teamwork. Let's dive into this area a little bit. How you manage all those, how you juggle all those balls, the different tasks to different people, with clients, with your team, with your suppliers. How does it go? Isn't it very stressful, or did you find a way to really master this universe?
I have to say, me with my work, I am very strict. So I really plan my day. I plan my week. So I know today it's Wednesday, what's going on over the next 7 days. And that's probably a tip for anyone who's listening. Um, I put in my diary appointments where I write Iris time.
It's a me time.
The me time, exactly. So the me time is actually the most important appointment I have every day, because this is the time where I just do what I need to do. So I just go for a walk, go for a run. I recharge the batteries in nature, so I need to be out there, and then I can actually concentrate and focus on my work when I'm here in the office. Working with different teams also needs a good organization, because me, as someone who is doing kind of consulting work, is always coming from outside into a team. So I'm not part of this team every day, but I'm part of it when we have a meeting. And in those seat times, we had a lot of online meetings. And you need to keep the connections with all of them. And I give to these people I work with, everyone has a role. And I find it quite important that everyone knows what his work is, what his uh, 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 now I'm losing the words in English.
Or to do, or
What his skills, what his tasks are, the responsibility is. Um, and then you actually start working with the team. And nowadays, I mean, there are great tools, online tools already available. So for instance, I use a lot of, for my work, I use Slack. You might know it, which is a great project management tool where you actually can work with different teams on different projects together. But the essential is really to keep being connected with the teams. And it's not necessary to meet up with them every week. So I hate those sure fix appointments, because then one day is already gone with meetings and you're not getting your work done. So working with this.
We've been there, we've done that in many companies.
So with these tools, it actually works quite well. But as being always the external person of these teams, I always need to make sure that we are connected and that everyone knows where we are working on in this particular moment, for instance. And another thing is, well, as I really love to learn, and I've learned also with the practice over the last years how to work with these different teams together. I've also done some studies and some trainings on how to work with teams. And I must say, to me, it's always fulfilling to be in different, or to work with different teams on various projects together. Yeah, and it might sound that it is a lot of work, but in between, I also have time to do my actual work, like organize the yoga festival, or even do the communication for some projects. But the essential for me is, or a tip for others who are actually working in the same field, is you have to be very organized. And another thing I'm doing, which I have done now as well, so I turn off my phone and my email program while I'm focusing on, for instance, texting, because I'm a person, I get constructed really, really easily. I mean, now I have this view.
You have to shut down.
Exactly, which is already hard enough. But I really switch off the phone. I switch off the email program when I really focus on my work, and then I get actually my work done, and I have still time for me time.
Yeah, it's so true. When you keep having these pop-up notifications, your phone, your laptop, everywhere,
Yeah.
You go to social media, you get this and that, a day is gone right
Yes.
away. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
notice this too. You
Yeah.
need to have the focus, you need to have the planning. And it's not, you don't need to be online 10 times a day.
No.
If you do it twice or 3 times a day, you focus. I myself, I even set a timer when I go on social media, because otherwise I just go down this rabbit hole and the
Yeah.
day is done.
Exactly. And I mean, I think we're all in the same boat, because you get very easily distracted. And psychologically, it also says, when you do a posting and you click on going live, of course you're curious. You want to know who is replying, who is sending you a heart, who is leaving a comment. Yeah. So psychologically, we are getting very easily distracted, and it's not actually good for being focused for work. Yeah. So, and I mean, I must say, I'm not 20 anymore, so I prefer to switch off everything which is around me, and then just do my proper work, and yeah, and have a look at all the social media channels later on.
Yeah.
And there's also one thing which I would like to add, which I have seen in the past from various projects I was working on. Sometimes people think they need to be on every single social media tools. Like, for instance, today or nowadays, TikTok is everyone is talking about. So I always give the advice, stick to this, what you really like and what you are, and what you really like doing. So if you don't want to jump around and do videos every day, don't go on TikTok. Yeah. So really, less is more. And sometimes it's not necessary. Or even if you're not really into writing, don't do a newsletter, because if you don't want to write, so where's the point of doing it?
It's just
So,
hard work, and it's just not fulfilling. It is.
exactly.
If you don't want to go on video, well, maybe you try podcasts. You
Yes.
find your channel. Is it writing? Is it podcasting? Is it video?
Exactly. So there are so many things we can try out, and it doesn't need to be. We don't need to be on every single channel. So yeah, it's not necessary. definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Iris, your expertise is in, with your outside marketing, is in designing Auszeiten, so leisure experience, leisure moments for everybody else. You touched on this topic already, but how do you yourself find your leisure time? How do you unwind and relax?
Well, as I said before, I have in my calendar, you will always find the appointment Iris time. Um, yeah, as I've been living in various cities, in Vienna, in Australia, in Sydney, in Innsbruck. I mean, these are all cities with a lot of green. And I couldn't be living in any of those cities if there wasn't that much green or the beach or a forest nearby. So definitely nature is for me the place where I can really switch off and let also my mind go and recharge. So for instance, if I do a press release for anyone, I prefer to do this writing in the morning. Then I switch off my computer at about 11ish, 11:30, change my shoes into my running shoes, and I go for a run. And in this time where I run, I sweat. I love to sweat, yeah, and I love to move. And in this time also, I think about this press release. When I come back in the afternoon, I sit down, read it again, and then I do some adjustments. So I see that being out there and moving my body in nature is not only good for my body and for my fitness, it's also good for my brain. And therefore, I think even if it's just half an hour a day, if I just go for a walk by myself or with a friend, um, I do something good for me. And of course, hopefully this sea time is over soon, where I can start traveling again. So this is also this time in my life where I can just let go, leave my company behind, which is actually not true because I'm always checking my emails.
We do.
But traveling is fun. Um, Doing stuff with my husband and being at home, doing gardening. I love planting things, and yeah, and there's one new thing which I really like doing. I've got bees. So
I'm still waiting for my first pot of honey. Maybe this
wait,
year.
wait until September. So I'm hoping that I will get the first honey. So we have 30,000 flatmates at the moment. They are quite busy, busy bees. I think it's just amazing watching them and how beautiful they are and how busy they are, how they are not getting distracted by anyone.
And how organized they are, right?
Organized, yeah. How they actually, when they approach like a flower, especially now in springtime, it's really beautiful to watch. And yeah, and we'd love to do something good for us, for the nature, for the surrounding, and yeah, for all the kids, yeah, who are living on this planet for the next decades. And yeah, it's good fun.
Definitely it is. So Iris, two more questions. What are you looking forward the most, like these upcoming weeks and months? Is there some one event or one special or one project you're looking forward to a lot?
Actually, I must say I'm really looking forward to meet the teams I work with naturally again, so in person, because Zoom and all the other conference tools are fantastic. But to meet a person in person is just something different, and that's what I'm really, really looking forward. Other than that, I look forward to my first swim in the sea, which is hopefully sometime this year. Projects are coming up. Yeah, there's a bit of the change going on in tourism as well, which I said before. So even hotels are now more focusing on yoga or mental work. And it's looking good that I can actually start programming a yearly schedule for a really nice hotel as well. And I'm very much looking forward to this work as well.
Forward to hearing more of this. So with every magnetic talk, we have usually we have a goodie or several goodies for our listeners. So there's also one special giveaway from you, right? Please tell us what you have for us.
Okay. For anyone who is interested, we can do a consultation call for an hour. So if you have any questions about marketing, online marketing, communication, how you can write a bio for yourself, or how, if you want to find some new approach, how you can promote your products, give me a call. So I'm giving away 1 hour of consultation talk.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Amazing.
Thank you, Maria. It has been a pleasure as always. And yeah, I'm hoping to see you soon in person. Yeah, maybe here in Pinzgau in the nature. And thanks for everyone who is listening or who was listening. And yeah, so I need to rush off anyway because my Iris appointment is waiting. So
that's good because you organized, you have a schedule. Something we can learn. Thank you so much for chatting with me, for being here with us today. And we're going to drop all the links to the festivals and new websites and the giveaway again. And thank you for listening, everybody. And Iris, I talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon. Bye.
Ciao.